What is going on, everyone? I am DV, and as always, I would like to thank each and every one of you for tuning in for another all-new episode right here on Me and Mine TV. Now, if you are a car junkie like I am and are completely involved and overwhelmingly enveloped in the love and passion for cars, I'm sure, just like me, each and every one of you have things about cars that you don't like, or maybe things about the automobile in general that you don't like. Because in my humble opinion, the biggest enemy to the automobile in 2016 is technology, because technology is one of the few things in this life that affects each and every one of us on this planet. It's one of the few things in life that nobody on this planet can escape. Now, I am a fan of technology, just not when it comes to cars. And what I mean by that is this. Now, as it pertains to cars, in my humble opinion, there are two forms of technology: good technology and bad technology. And what I want to do first is give each and every one of you some forms of good technology that the vast majority of us take advantage of each and every day. For instance, cars that have better MPGs and have lower emissions, saves on oil, saves the environment. Go ahead, Greenpeace. Cars with high-intensity headlights so we can see better at night. Cars with airbags, seat belts, so that when we get into an accident, we have a lower risk of injury and a higher chance of survival. Cars with ABS brakes, so when we have a hard braking event or something unforeseen happens, when we slam on the brakes, we don't lock up our brakes and slip and slide and crash into whatever it is we were trying to avoid. Now, those forms of technology are good. Why? Because they help us as drivers, they help people as pedestrians, they help the environment, and they help the planet. Good forms of technology. But the main reason why those are good forms of technology is because they do not take away from the sole premise of what a car is meant to do. Now, the purpose of a car is, of course, to be a form of transportation. It's meant for the occupant behind the wheel to drive it. It's meant to be driven. Now, in my humble opinion, forms of bad technology is any form of technology that takes away from the driver's ability to drive the car. Now, I'm going to give you a few forms of bad technology that a lot of you probably watching me right now have in your car today. Now, my favorite form of common bad technology is the blind spot indicator. Now, you know what I'm talking about. You get this little triangle or this little display on your side mirror saying, hey, there's a car right there, don't get over. And you think that would be helpful. But being a truck driver, when I'm behind the wheel and since I can see high up, I know exactly what you're doing, because you're sitting there in the right-hand lane looking to get over, but you don't even physically turn your flipping head. You don't do that. No. What do? You look at that indicator. So once that indicator gets off, you just go ahead and get over. So you're meaning to tell me that you're trusting that indicator and not your eyes? Are you really that freaking lazy to turn your head a couple of inches to see what's physically behind you? And that's one thing I love about my car. I don't have blind spot indicators, and God knows anybody who has a 5th generation Camaro needs a blind spot indicator because of the massive amounts of blind spots this car has. So I physically have to turn my head when I'm driving to see who's beside me. Now, another form of bad technology: front and rear driving assist, which is basically a system on your front bumper or your rear bumper that lets you know if you're too close to an object in front of you. Now, let me make sure I'm understanding this correctly. Remember back in the day when you were pulling into a parking spot or pulling in or backing in somewhere and you were unsure if you were too close? What did you do? You took your seatbelt off, you put the car in park, you got your lazy ass out the car and checked to make sure. But no. We don't do that. in 2016. We test the little indicators up in the front, up in the back, that tells us whether we're too close or whether we're not. So let me make sure I'm understanding this straight. A lot of forms of bad technology today are making drivers less responsible. They have less control. They want to trust more computer systems. And if anybody doesn't already know, like I'm sure a lot of you out there already do, computers can fail. Computers can be misleading. Computers are not always accurate. But yet in 2016, there is a lot of people out there who would rather trust a computer or maybe are too lazy to trust their own eyes. Now, does anybody remember a few months ago when that Tesla autonomous car, I believe it was in LA, crashed into that other car, killing that vehicle's occupant? The driver of the Tesla, if my memory serves me correctly, was in the driver's seat reading a magazine, testing out the autonomous system in the Tesla, and unfortunately cost someone their life. Now, I do not understand for the life of me why there are some people out there who are on the edges of their seat waiting with bated breath for autonomous cars to be mass produced. Because when I hear that, see that, or read that, I have to ask a simple question. Are you really that lazy that you don't want to drive to go somewhere that you want to go? If you don't want to drive, get your ass on a bus or get in a taxi cab or get in a carpool. Why would anybody in 2016 trust their life or the lives of their occupants or the lives of the people around them to a computer system? And with that being said, since autonomous cars are not mass produced, in my humble opinion, the number one form of bad technology has been around for about 25 years. And it is a system that a lot of you probably use on a daily basis, but it's one of the few systems of a car that I refuse to use. Now, this form of bad technology has been out for roughly a little over 25 years. Do you guys think you know what I'm talking about? If not, take a couple of seconds. I can wait. I don't even have a watch. Figured it out yet? Let me go ahead and tell you, because the number one form of bad technology that has been around for multiple decades is something that a lot of us use on a daily basis, but is the one thing that I refuse to use on any vehicle that I drive, and that is cruise control. Because let me tell you why. When you set the cruise control, what's the first thing that you do? No, it's not take your foot off the gas pedal. It's not that. No, it's not check your surroundings to make sure you're right. It's not that either. Because the number one thing we do when we set the cruise control is relax. Because once that cruise control is set, we know we don't have to be in control. So we can dip back in the seat, put one arm out the window, turn up the jams, one arm the steering wheel. But in doing so, when we're one-arming the steering wheel, have the music on full blast, dip back in the seat with the arm out the window, are we really fully paying attention? Are we fully attentive? Do we really have our proper reaction time when we're relaxed? The answer is no. And the last thing I want to do is be in my semi-truck weighing almost 80,000 pounds going up or down a mountain or around in Atlanta or any major city, relaxed with 80,000 pounds rolling with me. And it doesn't matter if I'm in my Camaro, and it doesn't matter in my 3. Because the last thing I want to be when I'm driving my car is relaxed. Because when we are relaxed, we're not as attentive, we're not as alert, we don't have the same amount of control, and we are not paying attention to the level that we need to be when we're behind the wheel of a car. And I don't understand in 2016 why a lot of people out there do not mind and will not hesitate to put the lives of themselves, the people in their vehicle, and the people around them in the hands of a computer system. Because a computer system, as history has shown us time and time again, computers are prone to failure. Computers are prone to be inaccurate. Computers are known to be misleading. So why I, as a driver with anybody in my car or anybody around me, be willing and do without hesitation put the lives of myself and the people around me in the hands of a computer? Now, I'm not right, I'm not wrong. That's my opinion. And if anybody uses any form of technology that I don't agree with, I'm not hating on you, because that's the beauty of these type of topics. Because it's all opinionated. We all have our opinions. Nobody is ever wrong. And if anybody ever has a different opinion than me, I ain't got nothing but respect for you. But that is my opinion. And as always, What is yours? Do you guys agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Am I right? Am I wrong? Am I somewhere in the middle, or am I nowhere in the stratosphere? Tell me, as always, what you guys think, because each and every one of you know I love reading you guys' comments. I love interacting with each and every one of you. So do not be afraid. Do not hesitate to leave some comments in the comment section. Thank each and every one of you for checking out this edition of Me and Mine TV. Don't forget to check out any of my other videos. Don't forget to subscribe. Stay tuned for my next upload. Each and every one of you, have a nice rest of your day.